This is a continuation of a discussion about the universe taken from the life and teachings of the Masters of the Far East. When the first man was born, your Christ was born, is the true Christ message. Before Abraham was, I am, the glory which I had with thee in the beginning, before the world was. Add love to all statements, and they move in harmony with the Christ as he taught. We can so surround one with love that that very influence floods in upon him, and it may in an instant change his whole life, his whole thought. We are not dominating him when we surround him with love, for that is his native environment. We are only placing an influence that he may accept, thus changing the whole course of his life, and we may also change the whole course of our own lives and thoughts. We are but seeing him as he really is, seeing him as God sees him. This does not hinder or influence him, but it frees him from hindrance and influence, because we are surrounding him with that influence in which he was created, that state in which all men lived in reality. It is far better to love your enemies and pray for them who persecute you, because you merely exalt yourself, and at the same time help to free them from those characteristics which cause them to act as your enemies. You are doing a double service both to yourself and to them. The gift is to the giver and comes back most to him. Then, too, sometimes our so-called enemies bring our thoughts out into the clear light of day more so than our friends do. Should you have a supposed friend that does you a great wrong, a harm, the consciousness of perfect love can absolutely change the whole aspect of the situation. That is man's privilege, to love your enemies and exalt them, because you are thereby exalting yourself. It is the greatest exaltation in the world to exalt your enemy, and see him standing higher even than you stand. This practice is the greatest sincerity, for to be sincere is to be without blemish. It is to be whole. The moment that you cut that individual out of your consciousness, you have allowed that individual greater privilege than you have allowed yourself. You must exalt him, and then you have finished with the matter. If you loose him and let him go before the exaltation, it is not finished, for you still have your own consciousness to mend. It is like this. You never knew that man before he came into your consciousness. Now you are perfectly conscious of him, because there was some situation with which you or he needed assistance. The moment you have gained that which was needed, and have finished with that person through exaltation, you can loose him and let him go back just as he was before he came into your life. Then, when your duty is finished and the exaltation is complete, you are both free. Both can go your separate ways, the same as you did before. Unless this is done, the blemish is still in your own consciousness. You see, all imperfection exists in consciousness only. There is to you no imperfection in those whom you have not contacted. The moment you recognize any imperfect state through contact with anyone, that imperfection is thereby brought into consciousness. Before perfect harmony in your nature can be reestablished, that state must be erased, and love is the only attitude that will erase it, for love is the universal solvent. It restores everything to its native state in the universal scheme. Only in this way are you free, and only thus can you free the other person. It is impossible to loose them and let them go without the element of love. Pity, either for the other person or for yourself, is not the way of release. Pity always binds you closer to the imperfection. You can pity yourself to the extent that you will tie yourself up with them faster and faster. You can also pity them until you do exactly the same thing. Pity reduces everything to the lowest state of the condition involved, while love exalts the same elements into their rightful place in the universal. Love is the highest thought you can have. Jesus exalted himself and everyone around him through love. Love is the very essence of the universe, and in perfect love all things are united into the universal whole. To the individual, the universe may be a single atom. It may be a complete body, or it may be the one entire universality of God, completely universal. When we say universal, if we do not limit our thoughts to any separate division, we are speaking truly. The thought, then, is all-embracing. Just as light surrounds and fills all space. When I see light, I see all universality. That is because light is the vehicle that carries universality into complete existence. The moment we exalt a word, it becomes light. The universe is unlimited. There is no limitation outside of the human concept. The animal never limits itself. It is only man that limits himself. The theory of the expanding universe is not accurate except in that it expands in our thoughts, or rather we expand our conception of the universe. We are always discovering that it is larger than we imagined. The universe is constantly expanding and contracting according to your own concept, but not within itself, for the universe is the sum of infinity. Many people think of the universe as referring to a single solar system, but a solar system is only one cell or atom in a universe of innumerable solar systems. There is one law governing the universe, for the universe is one. We need not obey a single law that is less than the one law. There is but one law, and that is the only thing that we need to obey. A human being does not need to obey even the manifestation of law, which is gravitation. You need not obey even the conscious manifestation of law. You need obey only the law that controls these manifestations. The moment you become unconscious of the manifestation of law, you are perfectly conscious of the law that is all, the allness or the universality of principle. Every manifestation of law then obeys us. We are in complete authority, complete dominion over every manifestation of law. The thought that there are lesser laws, such as the law of matter, brought the idea of materiality or mortality into effect. It was not Adam, it was the man who followed Adam. Matter is but one attribute of consciousness, the same as thought is but one attitude of consciousness. In other words, matter is only a fixed mental habit. Thought and matter are in reality only avenues of expression, and neither should be limited in the considerations of men. To the master there is no material universe. The visible universe to him is the manifestation of spirit, and is therefore spiritual in essence, and governed by the laws of spirit. It is in this knowledge which gives him power, and therein is the secret of all individual power. To know the law of spirit and to live in harmony with that law is always power of unlimited degree. And that law of the spirit is the law of love. It is love that governs infinite space and all forms that are projected in space. That is why the scriptures say that if you are in love, you are in God, and God is in you. Love is harmony, and therefore keeps all things in harmony, not only with itself, but with each other. When man is in a consciousness of love, or a consciousness of perfect unity with all things, he is in a state of perfect harmony with all things and with all people. Love is, as it might be said, cohesion, or a binding force that keeps all things in relationship to their source. Working in harmony with their source, they work in harmony with all projections of that same source. But love will dissolve that which is not in harmony with its complete adherence to the principles of its own nature, which is spirit. For that reason, love destroys hate, greed, selfishness, and self-seeking, and the ego that comes from these states of consciousness. Man is a replica of the complete universe, and he is a complete universe within himself when he includes himself in that whole. If he would let go of every thought of creed and dogma, he would be completely out of superstition. He would be completely unlimited. The moment that we unlimit ourselves, it can be shown through photographic evidence today that light emanates from every cell of our body. Light in the same way emanates from every cell of the universe. The source of this light and energy which invigorates and fills the expanse of the universe, and the universe of our body, is the great central sun. Cosmic means great. It is the whole of which man is a part.